Y'all, today's manga news video is gonna be something else. This ain't the kind of video I would be wanting to make, but thankfully we did have some good news and we definitely gonna be spotlighting and highlighting that. Hello friends, happy Monday. So very excited that you're here. When it comes to starting off, usually I like starting off with things with excitement and like, yeah, let's do it. This is awesome, at least for me, okay? At least for me, like things I'm really hyped about. Just things I'm excited about, that's the whole point of this video series. But I also think sometimes I've got to come on here and I gotta say things I don't want to say. I don't want to talk about this news, but let's go ahead and get the worst part out, all right? Let's talk about this. So 7 Seas on March 1st, when I woke up on Monday morning getting my kids ready for school and I go online, I was like, oh, just doing my Twitter news, wanting to see all the happy fan art, what was celebrated. And then I see Media Dough International to acquire 7 Seas Entertainment. I'm like, oh. Seven Seas got bought out. Like, okay, this is not what I was expecting. And then not only that, I'm seeing a flood of tweets talking about AI, how 7 Seas got out by an AI company. And I said, hold the phone, what, an AI company? Not only mixed in when I'm seeing these allegations, I just seen an update from CitrusCon where somebody was doing like a live tweet kind of thing. And 7 Seas is declaring they are against AI, the publisher's against it. And I said, well, what is going on? And if you go like to the official website about everything they're saying, it doesn't really say much, okay? It doesn't say anything about AI. But then if we go to this website here, I'll leave all the links down below. This article, please check it out. It gives all of the timeline of how so many things were said and done. But it does confirm in this article that yes, Media Dough is a very supportive AI company. And it really did look like 7 Seas just went downhill instantly overnight. Nobody was expecting it. Nobody was prepared for it. And they're saying here that they plan to increase the number of titles to around 2,000 because again, I wish I had, there was one specific link and I thought I had it bookmarked and I did not, but they give a breakdown of what their goals are, what they plan to do, and AI was blatantly part of that goal to help increase the profits of 7 Seas. And if I had it, I'd say go look at it because it was very interesting seeing how whatever year it was, they had like $12 billion and then for the next 2 years after that, it was half the amount in profits. I could see why they want to increase it, but using AI and then doubling the amount, no. So I shared a tweet and I said, hey, it is great to share on social media and let them know we do not want this. And I'm so thankful that many people were loud. Yes, we need, as many people said, continue to be loud and make it known we do not want AI translations. But I shared this tweet here and I shared what I wrote and I said, hey, here is social media's contact form as well as the other company's contact form. Go let them know. And I told them respectfully that, hey, I heard the news that you want to use AI translation. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of it. I've been a big fan of this company and I shared some of my faves with them, like Last with Chance of Delinquent. And I'm like, if I see later on that AI is used, I'm sorry, I cannot support this company as I once have. Thankfully, that so many of us reached out because at least the bright spot is that there was another update from this new company that has overtaken 7 Seas. And they say right here in this article, as stated above, the company will act appropriately for the fans and will not use AI in the translation operations of 7 Seas, so please rest assured. They do mention they will be using it though, I don't know if it was the same article, but they did mention they will be using AI for, I guess, Japanese translators. They will use that to increase the output of, I guess, Japanese manga, but that shouldn't be affecting 7 Seas. I genuinely hope not. I feel reassured, but I also, as somebody said, I feel like trust has been lost here because 7 Seas is an amazing company, and I do understand at the end of the day, money plays a major part in the manga that we get in the US. Like, I understand that. I do. But I don't want that manga at the cost of getting AI translations. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it at the end of the day. It's just not. I mean, if you're gonna do that, then I might as well just buy the Japanese manga, take pictures, and put it in Google Translate, and let that AI tell me what's being said. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense to be paying $12.99 and plus for these manga that no humans are working on. And I will say, I have talked to a few people, and at least have followed them on Twitter, who have said that they have not gotten any news that they have lost their jobs, that they're still working on the projects or manga that they've already been working on. It seems with the current manga, it's okay. But I do feel a little bit nervous for the future. Will things change? I truly, truly hope not. I have not decided if I'm going to be sharing the 7 Seas reader surveys. I don't know yet. I feel like it's a giant waiting game, and I really don't like that. But I mean, I am thankful that they did outright say that they are not going to be using AI, and I hope they stand behind that. We need to remind them we do not want it. Really thought hard, am I going to cancel my pre-orders? I decided not to, as of at least where things stand. But this was not the news I wanted to wake up to last Monday. I mean, there was definitely more news with, we are not going to go in depth about that. If you know, you know, and it was angry and upsetting and felt so nauseous to my stomach, and I truly hope that there is justice served for those victims and peace, because they deserve it above all else. So it was a really hard and upsetting beginning of the week, you know what I'm saying? I did notice this past week that we did not have any new manga licenses. They sort of did licenses, but they were like 3 audiobooks. None of them were shoujo. But I will say that even if the idea of 7 Seas being bought out by an AI company is upsetting to you and you don't want to support them, I totally respect you, friend. I think that is guts and courageous. And I do want to just share, though, if you want to make sure and ensure that you are supporting publishers and companies who are using no AI, I think he's the owner of Kodama, but Kodama is a manga publisher. They came out, they said they are adopting the handmade label. They use no kind of AI in translation, lettering, editing, design, or creative content. I said, let's go. They were not the only one. Omoi, formerly Azuki, also came out and said they use 100% human translators, letters, proofreaders, and editors for their exclusive series. Again, not the only one. Crossed Hearts, one of the newer publishers, came out and said, here's our stance on AI, and they gave a very long and wonderful post explaining how their production works step by step. I mean, literally, they have 7 different steps, and they tell you what they are doing. And it was just so encouraging to see this and know, like, some of these companies are against AI, and it's so wonderful because I'm like, yes, I will be supporting you. I will be supporting you. Speaking of Crossed Hearts, I think this is so amazing. We've talked about them several times of how they're a new manga manhwa publisher. I mean, they have multiple imprints that are coming. If there was any flip side to all the stuff happening this past week, that they have been really working with the community in the sense of getting feedback on different things. And they gave a long post here talking about, hey, we got the feedback from you. They talked about preferred age rating, print versus digital, special editions, and in-house studio. And I will mention, when it comes to that, it says, very soon you will hear more about Studio Hearts, our creative initiative dedicated to original storytelling. We expect to make an official announcement this April, introducing the studio and the amazing titles currently in development. I said, I'm here for that. And also a call for artists. I truly hope that things will be on the up and up for this company. I mean, they are doing some awesome, and I just am so very excited. Like, please let everything be good. I have seen 2 different leaks for 2 different manhwa announcements or licenses, excuse me, and I cannot wait to share those with you. We still have to wait for the other leak from another publisher. It is very exciting. I almost gave a little spoiler about it, but I won't say anything, but just know we will be celebrating when the time comes. Cannot wait to see what Crossed Hearts is going to be doing in the future. It is going to be good. I have no doubts. So more good news, y'all. So you know how a few weeks ago we did talk about in this manga news video here of how Kodansha had, 7 different titles that were part of the print club that were all shoujo. Well, guess what? Oh my goodness, I forgot to save the tweet, but a shout out to my friend if she's watching this video. She says, hey, I didn't know, but love that's an understatement. Volume 4 is up for ordering for the paperback. I said, what? And sure enough, if you look at this video that they have here, where it's highlighting all of the releases on Tuesday, yes, not only did we have Love That's an Understatement, we had Cells at Work Lady, Kiss with a Cat, and then also it's cut off on mine, but it's the Tokyo Girls. It returns, like it's cut off for whatever reason, but even that one, and I'm like, yes, like it was such a surprise. I already locked in my order. It has not shipped yet as of filming this video, but supposedly when this video goes live, that it should supposedly be here. I hope that's very true. I did talk about how I read volume 7, the latest digital volume, and volume 3, the paperback, in my latest reading wrap-up video. If I can, I'll leave it linked to the corner. I know there's some PVs that are coming that I'm going to want to share with you, and I also want to share this with you because if you're a fan of Veil and you've been trying to get Veil, you might know from personal experience, it has been so incredibly hard to get these volumes, like ridiculously hard. And I thought it very interesting that a friend of mine shared a blog post here kind of thing on Substack, and they were talking about the history of Veil, specifically in the US, how it came about to be one major thing. Now, I would suggest reading the entire article, but there's just one thing I want to focus on. But they did mention how the Diamond filing for bankruptcy, of how it just totally threw Veil, the scheduling, into chaos. They talked about why it's so hard to find, and the one thing that I wanted to specifically highlight from this article, well, also, no roses without thorns. Yeah, no roses without thorns. They did mention it. There's gonna be news on that, and I'm so excited. Like, yes, hopefully we'll hear more soon. But you remember when Veil was first licensed, they said it would be a 2-in-1 hardback. And then when Veil really started to become a thing and was about to be released, suddenly it was 2 singles and they were paperback. And it was sort of like, well, what happened? There was never any news there. Well, if you look at this screenshot here, it says how it was originally going to be a hardcover, but due to the inflation of the past few years and the worsening economic outlook, they said the book would be around $60. Yes, $60. And so, like you said, that honestly just didn't sit right with me from a consumer point of view. I wanted these books to be accessible, and at $16 when most other color manga is 20 plus, I think we did that. They did that. If Veil had been $60, I never would have picked it up. I cannot justify that. No, thank you. I mean, I could justify my manhwa 22, 23, you know what I mean? I could do that, but that's it. I don't do past that. No. So I'm very thankful. And they even talked about how they got the price lower and how truly I think it's made a huge difference. So if you've just been curious about what's going on with Veil, the history of Veil, they also mentioned that 5 and 6 are done. Yes. And that volume 7 they are currently working on. I'm very excited. I just recently read volumes 3 and 4. Absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. Just so very stoked. But I got one other piece of sad news. Just one more. And that is after a decade, Honey Lemon Soda is ending. Yes, if you're a fan of this series, it is ending next month in the Ribbon magazine. I'm so sad. I mean, it's had such a long run. It's a long series, and I'm more than thrilled for how long it went. I love Uka so much, and I can't wait for us to get the next volume in English. But it really was sad just to know, like, it's really ending. It's really the end of an era, as a lot of people keep saying. You have The Dawn that's ended, and other big series that aren't coming to mind, but they have ended as well. Condition Called Love, Queen's Quality, you know, all of these series that were so great have sadly ended. I mean, there'll be plenty more new manga, I know, but man, I was not ready for that news. But similar to this next one, going into some good news. Oh my goodness, Kitchen Princess, after 20 years, is coming back. Yes, I'm not making that up. Here's the tweet right here. It is coming back. Like, whoa. I saw this and I said, man, is this legit? Is this real? And this is directly from the creator's Twitter account. So yeah, it's real. It's happening. It is making a comeback. And I'm like, whoa, like that is really cool. Honestly, it made me want to read Kitchen Princess after I heard the news and sort of see what's about. I feel like I had the 4th omnibus a long time ago, but I was like, I still haven't read this after a year, so I unhauled it. If only past me would have known, I wouldn't have done that, because last time I looked at the omnibus, it was expensive. I said, I made a mistake on that. But I'm hoping my library has it. I think it's on K-Manga, I believe. But man, that is just really cool. So if you're a fan of Kitchen Princess, you can know it is making its comeback. And if you're a fan of giveaways, especially giveaways of box sets, Manga Alerts is doing a giveaway of Sailor Moon 1 and 2 of the Sailor Moon box set. This giveaway ends the 13th, but it's open to everyone. All you gotta do is follow, like, retweet, and comment your favorite character from this series. I would definitely say Sailor Mars. She is my favorite Sailor Scout. I think she's really awesome, and she was one I wanted to, like, sort of be like, because I thought her personality was so cool, even though I love Sailor Moon just as much, because, you know, she's just really cool, and she leads all the Sailor Scouts. And last but not least, for our manga news section here before we go into the anime PVs, is Dark Horse said they're going to be later this month having several Dark Horse manga licenses. Hopefully we get some shoujo, because they gave us, oh my goodness, I'll leave the cover here. I cannot, is it the credits roll into the sea, I think is the name of that. They gave us that. There is hope for us to get other shoujo titles, and I truly hope that we will get it, because that would be, or get more, excuse me, because that'd be really exciting. But let's go ahead and talk about some of these anime PVs, and there's a few key visuals near the end. I meant to share this last week, but I accidentally missed sharing it, and that is we got a new PV of Kiryu Fan Club. We also have the manga coming from Kodansha, and this just looks so entertaining. Comes out April 2nd, so it will be a spring anime, and it's just about these two best friends who like the same guy. Like, you can't even see the guy's face in the PV, okay? They like the same guy, and they just talk about, I guess, how much they like him. I remember the blurb mentioned something about farts and what you would do, and I was like, this seems nothing I probably ever have read. I forget when the manga comes out. I believe the manga comes out over the this summer, but we do have another anime, I believe it's coming out this spring as well, and that is always a catch. We got a new PV. I absolutely loved it. It was, oh my goodness, I'm so stoked for this. I'm trying to get my family to watch it because it's just so funny. I love the action, I love the humor and the expressions and the romance. Yes, it looks so very good, and I am just so very excited. Same as this next one, not a shoujo say, but y'all, the manga Bless is getting an anime. Yes, and they showed like a teaser PV. Fantastic. I'm behind on this one. I think I've read the first 3 or 4 volumes. This is also on K-Manga because originally that's where I tried it out at, and I loved that first volume so much, and I'm so excited to see these characters on screen. I'm not familiar with A1 Pictures, but they seem to be the studio, and a lot of people were super duper stoked about it, and I was like, okay, I am seated with everybody else on this. I mean, I was already seated just because of the name, but it seems to be in really good hands, and we did get a new PV for a new anime adaptation. I don't know how to see it, so I'm gonna leave the name right here first, but it seems so good. Oh my goodness, I love how the characters look. It reminds me of the Centric Doctor of the Moonflower Kingdom, just without the eccentricness of that series with Kyoyo, and probably not the amount of muscles either. And there's also a key visual here, and it just looks so pretty and so cute. I do know this is a manga in Japan as well as a light novel, and I think I heard somebody say that the art here is centered around the light novel art and not the manga art, and I truly hope that we get it in English. At least it'd be great to have both of them, honestly, but I would be down for sure to get the manga because it just looks so pretty, and I'm really excited to hear more about this one. And then last but not least, for our anime news section, I guess this is coming out in spring, but I can't remember if I've seen anybody mention who is getting it or going to be like streaming it in the US, but that is Even a Replica Can Fall in Love, and I love this key visual. It is so pretty. I read volume 1, and I honestly feel like I should have done a first impression because it just surprised me. This is by the same light novelist of If the Villainous and Villain Met and Fell in Love. That was why I decided to try out this series. We do have the light novel and the manga in English. Volume 2 comes out like super late in the summer, and I said, why? Why? Like, give it to us sooner, please, Yen Press. I really wanted it to come and release faster because it left on this cliffhanger, and I was like so mind blown. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I don't know if I'll tune in for the anime because I'm loving the manga so much, but I really like this key visual a lot. And then we have 3 different cover reveals. All of them are so pretty. This first one, I love how they did the font, and that is Merit and the Egyptian God. This is a 2-volume shoujo series. I think was in the Hanatime magazine, I believe. I know the creator's latest work is in the Hanatime magazine, but I just love this cover. I love that pink. Like, it is a beautiful pop of color, really works with all the blues and whatnot, and it just looks really good. I've heard the manga is very good. I think people wanted it to be longer, but I feel like that's true for a lot of series, honestly. Not just shoujo, but just in general. The next one is Pekin Habanero Volume 5, and I think it's so cute of how he is eating that strawberry cake. It just looks so cute. I'm not continuing this one, but if you're reading it, definitely tell me your thoughts because I am invested enough to know definitely no spoilers. But last but not least, I admit I did leave my favorite, and that is my super cute black mage. I love this cover. This is so fun. Oh my goodness. I love the green. I love the text bubbles. I love the girls sort of freaking out on the cover in the little background. They look like little, I want to say little lightning, but I don't think that's what they are. But it just looks so cute, and I'm so excited. A friend of mine got to read a digital review copy here recently, and she spoke very highly of it. I'm very optimistic that I'm going to enjoy it and like it. I definitely have my pre-order locked in, and I can't wait. I can't wait. So while this manga news video did start off, a little bit of a sadder note, I hope that it ended on a more exciting note, and I truly hope the best of things will happen with 7 Seas, that this company is going to see that we don't want AI. No. We don't want that. Continue to feed us manga, but not with AI by any means. But let me know what you found interesting in this video, if I shared any cover reveals that look cute to you, or anime, or just if you know too of any other manga publishers that are sternly against using AI, let us know because we want to support them as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!